Yeah, so while this political fallout is unfolding for Elon, business fallout is also unfolding. We can put this up on the screen. Tesla deliveries came in way below even expectations, which the expectations were already not good, but they sank 13% in the first quarter compared to where they were last year. So I'll go ahead and read you a little bit of this article. Tesla's global vehicle deliveries fell 13% in the first quarter from a year ago. Further evidence that a growing consumer backlash against the brand and Elon Musk is hurting the automaker's business. The final quarterly tally of 336,000 missed analyst expectations of 396,000 deliveries, according to Visible Alpha. Tesla shares fell. We'll see what Tesla shares do today when the market's open. Yeah, it's going to be, it's going to be not good for them. But, some of this is not just Elon being this incredibly divisive, toxic lightning rod figure. And remember, it's not just our politics. Obviously, he's been the most front and center, but it's not just our politics. He also has been tweeting about all kinds of countries around the world, but specifically intervened in Germany, specifically intervened in the UK. And you have to remember who is like the typical EV buyer. These tend to be more liberal types. So when you have someone who has aligned himself in such an aggressive, partisan, outspoken way, owning Twitter as well, with far-right movements, not just here, but around the world, yeah, there's going to be incredible fallout. And at the same time, you have other EV makers, BYD being the most prominent of them, but others as well, who are really competing now. For a while, Tesla was really kind of, even in the US, was really the only EV game in town, so to speak. And now even in terms of US automakers, you have, increasing competition in the market. And so it's a perfect storm for a catastrophic fallout for Tesla as a company. And the board is really stocked with Elon, like total loyal, like his brother's on the board, for example. So you would think maybe the company at some point would be like, being so closely associated with this guy is not really working out for our brand, but I don't think there's any.
No, they can't.
He's not in any kind of danger of that because they were specifically selected to be with him no matter what.
There are two things can be true. Tesla would never be where it was today without Elon, and also Tesla's downfall, if it does come, will be because of Elon.
Yeah.
And that's really where things are right now. Go ahead and put this next one up on the screen because this is where all of my attention is right now. At the very same time that you're seeing global market drop for Tesla, which, let's face it, like you said, it's the premier electric vehicle made by the United States and one of our exports. It was one of the crown jewels, actually, of the major U.S. economy. I mean, if you think about it, this is an auto company startup that was able to export and become a brand and bestseller across the world. That's one of the best case scenarios you could actually make for a U.S. company. But at the same time, what we've been talking a lot about in the last several months is BYD. And BYD sales have now topped 100 billion for the very first time. Actually, their demand is exploding. Right now, their revenue is up 29% from last year. And actually, you have seen increases in the very same markets where you are seeing Tesla decrease, right? Remember, the rest of the world doesn't necessarily ban Chinese electric vehicles the way that we do, and they're cheaper. That's the other extraordinary thing. Tesla's revenue and BYD revenue can be roughly similar. BYD has to sell 3 times the number of cars that Tesla does to be able to reach that same level. Now, of course, they have access to China, the world's greatest consumer market, so there are a lot of other mitigating factors. But look, you just can't simply sit here and deny that this is not a even bigger problem. This is not a big problem for Tesla because what is happening in Germany, in Mexico, I mean, the entire idea of Tesla, their strategy is they basically had to choose, are we gonna be a luxury brand or are we gonna brand that is accessible to the everyday person? That was their, they went for it with the Model 3. That was really what made it a multi-trillion-dollar company. Well, that's what multi-billion-dollar company. What their strategy is to sell as many of these 3s and Ys as possible to, the average consumer and to make it so that the everyday man could afford it and to be in one, as opposed to some sort of luxury vehicle strategy. Well, now you're competing against BYD, which not only has state subsidization from the Chinese, it's also just a fantastic car. And those are two things that are very, very difficult to beat.
Yeah.
Oh, and did I mention tariffs on top of all of this? If you're a foreign country, what's the easiest way to needle Trump? What are you gonna do? I'm tariffing Tesla. tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Tesla stock is also very vulnerable because for a long time, a lot of analysts have looked at this and said, this level of valuation, given the number of cars that they actually sell, is crazy. Like, does not make any sense. But there was a story about, especially after Trump gets elected, well, he's going to be close to Trump, and that's certainly going to help his business a lot. That one didn't really work out for him. And then also, the technology that goes into Tesla, that's going to be the thing of the future. And we also haven't really talked about the way that one of the things that Elon wanted to be very invested in was these automated taxis, and Waymo is eating their lunch in that regard as well. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah, we haven't talked as much about Waymo. I saw one the other day here in Washington D.C., but there was actually a driver behind the wheel, so I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah,
I still have not been in one. I would love to go.
But they have really cornered to the extent that the autonomous robot taxi market exists at this point, which you could go out to San Francisco. These things are in the street everywhere. It's Waymo, it's not Tesla.
That's right. And they're trying, they've got the robotaxi, I think, which is coming online. Same thing, like you said, that was part of the strategy. So it's incredibly vulnerable now to his overall, thing. I just want to return to something we were talking about earlier in our Elon block. Elon did kind of give the game away when he's like, why the midterms matter? Because if the Democrats take the House, they're going to subpoena and investigate it.
That's right.
And I was like, yeah, that actually,
yes,
dude,
they are.
You should really worry. Like, if I was Elon, he's lucky he's rich, because you better be ready to lawyer the fuck up. Like, you are going to spend $100 million in legal fees, just appearing before all these, or even fighting all of these subpoenas from all these, House subcommittees and all of this. And you can't blame the Dems for doing that whenever that's the chief political opponent of people who are energized against, right?
Well,
they're giving, one of the mandates they're going to run on is we're going to stop Trump and Elon. So of course they're going to investigate Elon, Tesla, subpoena, all of this stuff.
Because also the things he's doing are wildly illegal. I mean, something didn't even make it into the show today because of all the other shit that's going on. But RFK Jr. is doing these massive Doge cuts at HHS. And you can just look at, I talk about one of these in my monologue, actually. You can just look at these individual programs. Like, one is called LIHEAP. It's the heating program, low-income heating assistance program, so that, old people who are poor in Maine don't, freeze to death during the winter. These are congressionally authorized programs. Congress said, we want to do this, and here's the money to do it. And now Doge comes in and just zeroes out the workforce, so there's no one there to administer the program. This is, to me, is a blatant violation of, the separation, the checks and balances between these various branches. So, and obviously the courts have looked very skeptically at many of the things that Doge has done. So they have entirely legitimate, legal reasons that they would want to look into this, not to mention the level of secrecy. I know Elon likes to pretend like there's tons of transparency here, but there's not. The level of secrecy around who's doing what and to what ends and to benefit whom, et cetera. So yeah, of course, they're going to be off to the races with endless investigations and subpoenas. And I think it would be shocking at this point if Democrats didn't win big in the midterms, because not only did you have the Wisconsin race double digits in the liberals' favor, but if you look down at those two both of them, Florida special election seats, it was roughly a 15-point swing.
Yeah, exactly.
Towards the Democrats. Now, midterms will be a little bit higher turnout, but Republicans have a low propensity voter issue at this point. Democrats are highly motivated. Republicans have a razor thin margin. Like I said, I'd be shocked if Democrats don't take the House, and I think Trump has already written off the idea that they'll be able to hold on to the House. The last piece we have here with regard specifically to Tesla, you can put this up on the screen, is understated in all of this is just what an incredible flop the Cybertruck has been. They've had issues with safety and with recalls. Every Cybertruck effectively was just recently recalled because some of the trim can just fly off because it's just glued on. And we now know that they're sitting on $200 million worth of Cybertruck inventory. They're having so much trouble moving Cybertrucks that they actually have banned people from, current Cybertruck owners from trading in the vehicle at Tesla dealerships. So they say Tesla's having issues selling new Cybertrucks. The automaker is reportedly not taking any as trade-ins. So they won't accept their own vehicle as a trade-in. Many Cybertruck owners reported trying to trade in the truck for a new vehicle. They were told the automaker currently doesn't accept its own vehicle as a trade-in. Some owners who have had their trucks in service for extended periods of time are also trying to get Tesla to take it back. Companies forcing them to go through the lemon law process. And then other dealerships also are either not taking in Cybertrucks or they're giving incredibly low-ball offers to potential sellers as they wait to see where the price will stabilize. Right now, used Cybertruck prices are down 55% year over year, 13% over the last 3 months, and 6% over the last month.
Yep, not good. And especially because the Cybertruck has just become like a symbol of Elon.
Yeah, that's right.
That's really what.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's such a like in-your-face vehicle to buy.
Well, it's a unique vehicle,
Yeah,
right? And then you made that vehicle political. It's like, well, that's not necessarily, like I said before, you know, if you got a truck that's like $80,000 to $90,000, there's only a certain subset of people that can afford that, or I guess should afford that.
So as much as you may want to own the libs, you maybe don't want to own them to the tune of $90,000, right?
That's true. Although there are a lot of people out there driving Ford F-150, or what's the bigger one? Not bigger than Ford.
250. Yeah, the Super Duty.
What are the double deckers?
The ones that are like super wide.
The dually. That's what the control room is telling me. There are a lot of guys out there who owe like 80 grand to their local Ford dealership. But we could talk about personal finance and stuff for another day.
Yeah, but I mean, also look, it's still kind of a pain in the ass to own an electric vehicle. You know, like the charging network is still like, it's okay, but it's still kind of a pain in the ass.
I wouldn't say it's a quote pain in the ass, but it is
if it's your primary vehicle and you're wanting to use it for like long road trips and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're gonna stop more. There's no question.
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, like most people do stop statistically, they usually stop every like 2 to 3 hours. So it's more that your stop will be a little bit longer. The truck case is really more about like if you're statistically more likely to live in a more rural area, so you're gonna have less access to charging, etc.
Yeah, which is where a lot of Trump supporters would be.
Which is where a lot of Trump people would be. So anyway, we can talk about that later. But
yes.
Yeah. A lot of you don't need trucks though. I'm specifically talking to my Texans out there. Living in a suburb with an $80,000 truck is stupid, but we'll get to that later. Hey, if you like that video, hit the like button or leave a comment below. It really helps get the show to more people.
And if you'd like to get the full show ad-free and in your inbox every morning, you can sign up at breakingpoints.com.
That's right. Get the full show, help support the future of independent media at breakingpoints.com.